Blimey, coming from live here from Sweden. There's my Twitch handle if you want to follow me there. Today I will be doing a walkthrough of a new community-made Inferno map, right? The Inferno. Kinda catchy, right? And I will give you my thoughts on the supposed changes. I mean, this is a map that has been a little bit hyped on the Steam community a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of all of the changes, but you know, T-spawn here looks pretty standard, right? They moved this thing back, gives you an angle to which throw in weapons if you like. They took away a lot of the clutter here, which is really amazing. I love that part. So this is in more of an open space. You don't have to run into things and all that stuff. This is down here, bottom of second mid. Looks pretty much the same. I think they removed a burning car or a car wreck of some sort to make it more open spaced, which is great. This whole area is pretty much the same, right? Same with the slope. Down here in the bottom mid, as you notice straight away, the lamp post is being taken away over here, somewhere around there, which is nice. It was pretty much just in the way. As you can notice here, the underpass or Mexico, whatever the hell you want to call it, has been, you know, deeper. So you can walk through, you can run through, you can do whatever the hell you want down here. You can have an underground rave if you so wish, you know. It's kind of the cool thing. Not a big fan of it, mainly because the terrorists will have such an easier time to rotate between going banana B, going A, going second mid, going mid. You know, it gives them a whole lot of more options in how to execute their different fakes and whatnot. And let's move on to banana. As you can see straight away, the most noticeable thing is those pillars and shit that has been here. They have been completely removed, which is awesome. This is the most and best change on this map. It had to have something done to the banana because it was way too easy to control as a counter-terrorist. Let's just call that CT from now on, right? And this gives a whole lot of opportunity. As you can see, it's way easier to, you know, connect with grenades, molotovs, whatnot to cover the B-bomb site with. I've actually tried a couple of those myself. It's really easy to throw them. It's not a huge deal to try and fit something in. And this whole area being the way it is, with the cover in the middle a little bit, and this whole thing where you can go and peek above. You can try and take out the CT behind there. And yeah, I mean, I really like this change because it gives you more opportunities as a terrorist to try and come to this area right here at the end of the banana. But another thing I also like is that they kept the exit narrow to make sure that, you know, it's not going to be too much or, well, too easy with the changes. They did something here with the used to be the car, right? And instead of letting people peek from inside, they have to peek on the outside, which is really, really good. I think that's the way it was back in 1.6, right? So that's really amazing. I love that. It's a really good thing. And over here we have actually I can just take this as well. You can just pretty much shoot through anything you want here to try and pepper him with bullets if that's your desired thing to do. Over here they took away the sandbags. I'm not a big fan of that. I thought the sandbags were kind of important in the way that they forced the terrorists to respect the angle. You have to take it into consideration when you make your play up into this area. And now you don't, you can just roll right through. There's no possibility of the CTs having any tricks up their sleeve here. It just puts them right into an open area, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think it's stupid. Also, the sandbags provided a really nice tactical approach. When if you smoke this area off right here, you can just go on top of the sandbags and peek over the smoke in different areas. I think this is the angle that you could do it in. That's the furthest, right? Not sure, but yeah, pretty similar. You can peek that corner at least. And then you have the cart. It's still here, as you can see. And if you want to peek through over smoke here, then you just, when you jump up, you're gonna be, you know, pretty much done for if they have someone posted to take that peek. So I'm not a huge fan of leaving this as the only obstacle, or what you want to call it, trick up your sleeve, up in the end of the banana. They also removed the wall that was right over here. So there's no tricks, no nothing you can do as a counter-terrorist to try and slow anything down. They're just going to roll right through you with minimum use of utility, which I think Inferno was a great map on before because it forced both teams to use and expend their utility at a decent rate. And if you want to try and hide behind the cart, I mean, just don't. It's kind of stupid. You can be spotted from pretty much anywhere, so you can see through the cart wheels in both sides of the cart. So it's just a crapshoot if you want to stay there. They're gonna. It's not something to be respected, pretty much, if you ask me. That's why we kind of need either the wall or the sandbags or both, preferably. It's back. You can see there's a nice hole there in that wooden board at the top there, which means they can snipe you through it if they boost up. Make a little tower there, which is kind of interesting. The thing is though, these blanks, as you can see, you can just shoot straight through them with pretty much any gun. So they don't give you much cover if you want to try and do anything like that, which I think it's too little and too far back. They're already pretty much onto the B side when that information is going to be gathered. So I don't really like that. And the first thing that jumps out to me when I look at the B side is this right here in the middle. I really liked the old one, and I don't see the point of changing there. They just cleaned up the fountain a little bit from those bushes and whatnot, make it a little bit cleaner in the looks, I guess. Reducing some FPS lag maybe for some bad computers. I don't know. I'm not sure. This is still gonna hold you in cover if you need it. But as you can see, it's really narrow at the top, so you're not gonna be able to jump from here. Now I suck at jumping, but still you get the point. It's not even close. So that's not going to be something that you can do to jump up there, there, and there in the future. You're going to need to have a boost, which I'm annoyed with because it takes away another option for you as a CT, especially if you're holding it by yourself. But one thing that I do enjoy with the change is this wooden board. It's going to cover your sight from this angle, right? This was incredibly difficult to spot someone in. You needed to fully focus if you wanted to spot that angle, but they had complete perfect line of sight for the entire CT line. So that's a good change. I'm really in favor of that one. I think it's clever to make it a little bit more difficult to hold that entire angle, or hold the angle when they approach the site, which you could do before when they come up through the stairs. Then we have shadow. It's not as dark anymore. I think this is whatever for me. It's a whatever change. This area right here is pretty much the same. Or well, I guess it is the same. Then we can move on to construction. As you can see, there's a lot of change in here. There's no deep end here. There's no way to move in back. There's no generator here to cover you. It's pretty much only this area here that's going to give you any cover, which is going to make ninjaing like the thing Kirby did for Dignitas against Envy, I think it was, a while back. Gonna make that a lot harder, because this is the only thing the team's gonna have to check to try and they can just go through looking under that thing. So that's not, you can still look through to CT from here, which is nice. But all in all, I'm in favor of the construction changes. I think they are clever. Just clean it up a bit. And there we have a little nice, I don't know if I'm gonna call it an Easter egg. But I think that's a shout out to Happy, considering the smile, right? Doing his Deagle Ace, I think, in the banana, which is kind of cool. I like that. Then we have the truck here. CT spawn looks pretty much the same, I guess. You should probably still be able to jump up here. Yep. So that's nothing new. You still have the same angles to cover in here. The vault looks pretty much the same. Everything looks, yeah. Library looks pretty much the same, right? No major changes in here. Long looks pretty much the same. The ninja squad is still there. Then we go mid. Everything looks the same. Quad looks the same, I think. Then we have boiler. Looks pretty much the same. Now we go on to one of the next major changes. Whoa. Here we go with the windows. Normal windows, which is awesome. I like that. You can still, as you can see, second mid here pretty much looks the same, right? You get wagon over there, as per usual. You get that area, looks pretty much the same. And the huge difference here is, as I said, the windows, and the fact that the map creator created a joint room, so to speak. He removed the bedroom area completely, or well, he joined it into a big room with 2 doors instead of just the sneaky area where you pretty much had to throw a Molotov to try and get rid of any lurking CTs or Ts, whatever. I think it's a smart way to deal with the problems in the apps to a degree. I think it's really clever. I think it's really simple. It's simple and clever at the same time, you know. So I really love that change. As for a lot of people's requests to try and widen the hallways, this looks pretty much the same to me. And I don't think it was necessary to widen any hallways. I think it was pretty much this fair game as it was. I really like that part. Let's just rotate back here to the second mid. We still got the door there, as you can see. I think this, I don't know, there's no major changes here, I think. I'm not used to being up here. I think that might be different a little bit. Here you can hide in this thing. I don't know if that's different or not. You can still see through here, which with the new room, the big room, you can pretty much have an interesting angle to cover from this area, which we may see utilized, I'm not sure. Because it adds a kind of interesting dimension in which you can see both doors, right? And you can cover a lot of ground to try and gain map control and help your teammates cover them up from bad angles. You can check the corner there, the immediate corner, which is a nice addition to the map. All thanks to one simple solution over there. You can still drop down. Actually, I'm gonna go and show you short now. Quad pretty much looks the same. You can peek through there, and here we have some major changes, right? You can see the fence on Graveyard is gone, which I think is bad, but I'm gonna get to that later. This is the major change. They replaced the truck with a wagon of hay, and they took away the gap between the truck and the wall. So there's no way you can peek short from the pit now, except for that angle, which kind of frustrates me a little bit, in the sense that you, as a terrorist, don't have pretty much any angles to respect here anymore. Before, you used to have to respect that angle, the graveyard angle, hell, even shorts to be respected a little bit. I mean, the site had to be respected a little bit, and I think that's also a major change, but we're getting to that later. I think it's really stupid because you get a lot for free now as a terrorist. You don't have to fight for the control of this area as much as you had to before, because there's only a couple of angles that you need to check. And I think that's a huge mistake. As we can see here, this ending looks the same, and the balcony has a major change because it doesn't wrap around the entire building, which in my opinion is a real pain in the ass because it takes away another angle that the terrorist has to respect. And as you can see, there's a lamp down there, which unfortunately it's not solid, so you can't really play around with that as well. I think you could jump onto something here as well before with the old balcony to try and make them respect that as well if you want to, you know, go for another thing. As you can see, I just fell straight through the lamp. No connection. So yeah, otherwise I think that lamp being solid would have been a good thing because it gives the CTs something to play with in terms of how to hold this area. But now it's pretty much just no angles you can take. It's just going to be a couple of variations, which is going to make it really fast and really easy to check, and it's going to make it too T-sided in my opinion. A lot like banana. I also don't like the fact that they have the boxes down here. I mean, is it to throw in a gun if you want to hide it? I don't know. It's just stupid. You can just solidify the entire thing. It doesn't make any sense to keep it open anymore than, at least not the part furthest in, unless you want the angle, or, I mean, it just seems stupid and no thought to it, if you ask me. This pit, otherwise is pretty much the same. No fence in the graveyard as I mentioned before. I think it's really stupid because this area is just pretty much a dead space now. You're not going to get much value being here. It's just going to be a one and done situation pretty much all the time if you're going to be here, if even that. I think it's really unnecessary to remove the fence. I don't think it added so damn much that it was a problem. But now it's going to be very exposed, and I'm not really a huge fan of that. So let's move on to the A site. As you can see, the site is very much emptied of boxes and places to cover up behind. And the fact that this is just a wooden board is really annoying me. Because as you can see here, I can just shoot straight through and pretty much empty out the entire bomb site without using any nades, any molotovs, nothing, if I think they're stacked in there. Which is probably pretty much an impossibility they're going to be now, since there are no covers. Which takes away another element of passive CT play, if you want to use passive play. And I think it's sad. The A site was never a problem on Inferno, in my opinion. It was pretty much fair to try and get the A site with proper use of grenades. And as you can see here, you can plant the bomb on top of this wooden plank, which is also, I'm not sure how far, alright, it's just this side. If you go this side of it, it's not going to be planted. But still, it gives you an opportunity to just wall bang whoever is defusing. If he wants to try and get some cover, you can't hide behind the boxes, nothing. Makes it way too terrorist-sided again. I think this is way too much in favor of the terrorists, with the amount of total changes being displayed. I don't know what to say. I mean, I think there's just too much changes in the favor of the terrorists to be a proper Inferno. I mean, I'm a huge fan of terrorist-sided maps as much as the next guy, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much. I think a good example of a mellow change to make the terrorists have an easier way of capturing small things, you know, like opening up the gap, getting up the fence again, adding a couple of tricks for the CTs on the banana, well, the end of banana, the entry towards the B side. It's, you know, gonna make this a fair map. The biggest problem with Inferno, as everyone knows, has been the banana, and the open banana fixes that. But this is just little changes to be good in my opinion. And that's it for me today. Once again, I'm Limey, and you can just, if you like the video, you can just follow me on Twitter, which is @Limey, spelled a little bit differently, or you can just follow me on Twitch,